Hi, my name's Carol, and this is Lola. And I'm here to tell you a bit about working with Jen Turnham and her BWRT work. So I originally chose Jen because she is an HSP extrovert herself, and a lot of her work is focused on that area, I also knew her before I actually worked with her. I knew her as well, so I knew she thought the way that I wanted a therapist to think. The BWRT sessions that I had were for a very, very specific problem that I've had since childhood, really, to be honest. And, well, it transformed my life, to be honest. In this one area, it did literally transform my life and changed how I thought about it. And now it's strange because I can't even remember why I felt quite so bad about it, and why, and now doing what the right thing is, or the better thing for me, seems so much easier than it did. It's transformed my life. What I like most about working with Jen is that she gets me. There's a whole load of things about being HSP that other people don't understand, but I don't have that with Jen. She gets me. And I also like her very much as a person, which really helps too. Jen is probably one of the most compassionate, empathetic people I've ever met. She gives so much of herself into what she does, which is why I believe her to be so successful at what she does. And that's where, for me, she is unique. That it's not just her skills; it's how much of herself that she gives, and her fundamental understanding of HSP, especially HSP extrovert. I think most of the situations that I've had, if not all, my expected outcome has turned me around. There's so many I've had. It's not because I'm in Jen's Connection Corner, and I've had her for normal coaching sessions, and I've also done BWRT with her, and everyone I've had has changed how I think about things, the way that she does things, and so even if the change isn't big or doesn't seem big at the time, sometimes it turns out to be big because it changes the whole way that I think about something. For example, she recently did a training on her on what to do when her original training was don't take things personally that aren't meant personally, essentially, and the second part was how to not take things personally when in fact they are personal. And I'd had a very, very recent example of that, and the way that Jen goes through her theory of that, really, so that's one instance where I immediately felt a lot better, and I wasn't ruminating about it so much, and it really made a huge difference. I think everything I've already said shows why I work with Jen and not with anybody else. There's a whole host of things I don't need to explain. I don't need to try and convince her that HSP exists. So there's no wasted time because she understands. And that is just not, you just don't get that. The other thing that she does is that she is extremely good at getting to the nub of the problem, because what I present as the problem might not really be the problem, and she's extremely good at questioning and using techniques that get to the nub of what the actual problem is, and then resolving that, which is, again, I've not really experienced that with anybody else. Oh gosh, what stands out as Jen's number one professional quality? There are too many. Her compassion, her empathy, her also her incredibly, and there's something I haven't yet mentioned is her qualifications and her background and her, she has a bedrock of psychology. So she's not like one of these people who's just saying, oh, I'm a therapist. She has that background, she has that theoretical knowledge, and she combines that with her compassion and her empathy and her knowledge of HSP extroverts. And that's basically what her main professional qualities are. She's just amazing. And here is Lola back to agree with me. So thank you, Jen, for giving me this opportunity to tell the world how good you are.